Good morning, everybody. Happy sunny Tuesday. We are here with our art supply of the week. We introduced him yesterday with a fun outdoor project, and we're back today with a fun indoor project that we're doing in honor of the full moon tonight. So we have Chalkmaster Flex. For those of you parents who grew up in the 90s, you'll appreciate the reference. And my husband decided Chalkmaster needed a friend, so we have two Chalk, Shakur, who's buddies with Chalkmaster. little off the superhero theme, but we're just gonna go with it. All right, so yeah. Supplies for today.
Two Chalk, two food stuff. So we get two food stuff.
Oh, interesting. So here is our project for today. We are creating a moonscape. We're going to pretend that we're standing on the moon, and we're going to kind of do an imaginary view of what we would see if we were standing on the moon. So we're going to need black paper. You need a white piece of chalk. We have chalk pastels, but we also have chalkboard chalk, or you could use sidewalk chalk. Any of those will work. You need white paper. You can use scrap paper because you're going to be cutting these circles out of the paper. You need, I would say, 3 circular things that you can trace. You could use the cap to a Tupperware. We have a roll of tape. We have a small Tupperware container. Any of those sorts of things. And glue. I would say 3 different size circles that you can trace are great. Nothing that is bigger than this, say 6 inches-ish around. You need glue. We happen to have glue sticks today, but a small container of glue with a paintbrush works, or like a small Elmer's container. Doesn't really matter. And you need scissors. Yes. All right, so I'm going to hang this back up, and we're going to get started with our black paper and our white piece of chalk. Now, I've been doing this project for a long time because it's one of my favorites. I love the feeling of chalk pastels. Oh, and that being said, we also have a craft cloth because chalk pastels can get pretty messy on your hands. And I also love the bright colors of the planets that sit on the black paper. They just look super vibrant and pretty. All right, so our moonscape. And now we're making a moonscape, but you've probably heard of a landscape. And a landscape is a painting or drawing of something outdoors, of nature, of land. Maybe it's mountains or hills or fields. And today, since we're doing it of the moon, we're calling it a moonscape. So, you know, I don't know which chalk pieces are missing. There are 2 missing, and I couldn't tell you what colors they were because there's just so many. Here you go. Okay, so we are starting with our white, and we're going to first create, we're going to create the surface of our moon, and to do that we want to create a little hill at the bottom of our page. And to really make it look realistic, I like to start just above this corner on the side over here and make it arc up, bend up like a hill, and come down to about the same spot above the other corner. Doesn't have to be exact. Here we go. All right, now the moon's pretty dry, right? It's not really any water or anything. When we look up at it, it's pretty much white and gray and black shadows. So we're gonna kind of stick with that, and we're gonna create some craters so that you can see what the surface of the moon might look like. So we're gonna do that by making some small ovals, like that. I'm gonna make 3 of different sizes. Okay, there we go. I'm going to make the craters look like they're kind of deep, and that's going to be done by adding little sides, little curved lines there to the bottom of my circle, or my ovals, I should say. Some little curved lines. Okay, there's some moon craters. Now I'm going to fill in a little bit on the inside, around the top and one side, around the top and around one side, kind of like a hook. And then I'm going to use my finger for this part. This is where a towel or tissue would come in handy. I'm going to kind of blend it. It's called blending when you move the pastel around with your finger. It makes it look really soft. All right. Now I'm going to do some more blending. I'm going to create a really hard white line. So I'm going to go over my line that created the edge of my moon again. Okay, and then I'm going to use the side of my pastel, or you can use the tip and just color lightly, and draw a much lighter but thicker line underneath the edge of my moon. Then I'm going to use my finger and I'm going to blend that right in downward towards the bottom of my page. I'm going to go around my craters. See, I'm using my finger and it's getting softer looking.
Different kind of colors of things.
Calla, per usual, is testing out her own system here, which is great. Everybody can do their own thing. All right, so look at that. Now I'm going to do something similar with the craters. I'm going to create that same kind of light texture around the bottom of the craters. And I'm going to blend that in too.
I might just take it.
And I'm going to blend it out so it looks like they're still kind of standing up there. I got some big moon craters going on.
Mama, this one broke a little.
All right. If you want, you can take your pastel and kind of draw in the edges of the craters again so you can really see them. Nice. All right. If you want, you can add other little circles or dots or lines to your moon. Here comes my tornado. To make it look like the moon has some texture. Quinn, would you like some paper to cut while we're working? Here you go. All right. So we've got the surface of our moon. Nice. Now we're going to add our stars. So there's a couple of ways you can make stars. You can just make little dots all over your page. And you can do a mix. That's what I like to do. I like to do a mix. So I'm doing dots all over my page. Just little ones, just kind of pressing my chalk onto the page. There we go. Mama, then I can make slightly bigger dots.
Mama, I know what I'm
by just moving my chalk around in a little circle. Yeah, Calla, what are you working on?
I'm making a shooting star.
You're making a shooting star. I hadn't gotten to that part, but you can totally make shooting stars. All right, so I'm making some bigger dots by kind of wiggling my crayon around in a circle. There we go. And then I can make some even bigger stars by making like little X's. And they look like,
or if you want to make shooting stars like me,
like that. So you can see all the different size stars. Just like when you look at the night sky, some stars are closer or brighter and they look bigger than others. We're kind of making our night sky look like that. All right, so I've got a star-filled sky. We can always go back in later and add some more stars, but now we've got a good start here. Now we're ready for our planets. So I'm gonna grab my white paper. I'm gonna use my scrap paper here. We had already written on one side of it. I'm going to take my 3 objects that I would like to trace. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna make this so that you can see what's going on here. So let me switch out my Moonscape.
I'm making my sun.
For a moment. For my white piece. Quinn, can I help you with something? You can color with the chalk. Can I help? Yeah, you got it. Here, how about why don't you sit down and I'll push this towards you and then you can get pieces of chalk out more easily, okay? Is that gonna work? All right.
What can I color around with this?
So, here we go. You can use any of the pieces of chalk that you want, Calla. So I'm gonna start with my little Tupperware container. I'm gonna grab any color. Your planets can be any color you want. This is your imagination. They can be bright, they can be light colored, whatever you'd like. And I'm gonna show you a few different ways to fill them in. So I'm going to start by tracing right around the outside here of my Tupperware container. Doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to be cutting it out. So there's one circle here. So Calla, before you cut that, I'm going to recommend that you color it in. It's a lot easier to color it in before you cut. Okay, I am going to trace my other circles as well so you can see. I want a green planet, so I'm actually going to trace the outside here. got a green one. And what am I gonna do? This side, this one seems kind of big. So I think I'm gonna do a itty bitty one. I'm gonna do my little glue container here. I'm gonna do it purple. That's you, Kenny. That's you. All right.
Mama, where do
There we go. I've got 3 planets that are ready to go.
pour all of that?
So we can actually put it, so when you create dust from your chalk, I usually just tap it right onto the table a little away from my work area, and it'll wipe right up when you're done. All right, so now I'm gonna fill in my planets. I'm gonna start with my smallest. All good, Quinny? Okay, go ahead and sit back safely, please. Oh, you wanna tie it up, gotcha.
Mama, where's that go?
Well, we have a couple that are missing, and Kala and I are using some right now, so there are some empty spots in the chalk container. You can help me clean it up when we're done, okay? So I'm gonna fill in my purple all the way, and then I'm going to use a darker purple, and I'm gonna color in just one side of my planet, just along the edge. Like that. And now I'm going to use my finger, and we're going to do some blending again. I'm going to blend that dark in so it's kind of smudged in with the light purple. Hold it up. And that makes our planet look a little more three-dimensional, like a sphere, because that's what planets are. They aren't just flat circles, right? They're rounds like a ball. So by adding that darker purple on one side, and I'm gonna go back in and make the line around the darker half even darker to really make it stand out. All right, so that's one way. You can blend light and dark together on the 2 sides of your planet to make it look like a sphere. Here's another thing that you can do. I'm gonna do my pink planets. I'm gonna color just part of my pink planet with the pink. I'm gonna do a section here, and maybe a section down here, and a little section over there. All right, so I've colored part of my planet pink. Kind of looks like continents. Maybe not continents we have on our planet Earth, but continents on another planet. Now I'm gonna pick a different bright color. I'm gonna choose orange, and I'm gonna fill in the other spaces.
Out see the sun.
Nice, Cal. All right.
Mama, Quinn's taking a lot and not putting it back.
It's okay. She's just lining them up. She's kind of putting them in order. I don't think she's hurting anything. All right, so there's another planet. I'm not going to blend that one. I like how it looks with kind of the scribbly lines in it that are filling in the shapes. So we've got 2 planets so far. Now the last one, I'm going to kind of do a combination of the 2. I'm going to grab my green again. I'm going to fill in my entire planet green. So I'm actually using the side of my chalk. Okay. I'm going to use my finger to really blend it and make it look smooth. Cool. My fingers are dirty, so I have my towel under here. I'm going to wipe them on. Now I need another color. I think I'm going to use a couple. I'm going to use a different shade of green. And I'm going to make some texture on here. So I'm going to make texture similar to my orange and pink planet. I'm going to fill in some different shapes. There we go. All right. Cool.
Mama, what's that?
It's blue. I'm not quite ready for it yet, but you'll see in a minute. Now I'm going to choose a blue because I think that would look cool with the green. And Quinny, can you sit back so that my friends can see what I'm doing on the screen? I think you have enough chalk at this point, so you need to start putting it away if you're not going to use it, please. And now I'm going to add some circles or ovals on here and kind of make it look like craters. Just like that. Keep it pretty simple. All right, there's 3 different ways to make a planet. So now I'm ready to cut.
And that's that board right there is actually a puzzle board because we don't have any more.
Yes, I am using the back of a puzzle for my easel because that is the best thing that we had in the house for this. All right, so you can see that. I am gonna grab, all my scissors are being used right now. Queenie, can I use the scissors for a minute, please? Can I use them for a minute? And I'll give them right back when I'm done. Thank you so much.
Oh,
all right, I'm gonna cut out the planet.
Oh,
no, the paper fell down. There we go. I'm gonna cut out the planets here. Alright, these are gonna be so awesome. I can't wait to show you the finished product. I can't wait to show you Callus finished product. I am just gonna throw out there that tomorrow's supposed to be a little rainy if you're living in the Northeast here, so you might want to save this one for tomorrow. Hey, Quinn, you alright? Oh, we're gonna get the car. Okay, let's readjust here. This might be a good one to do tomorrow.
But you have to get your objects from outside quick because we have to do it inside.
What objects do we need from outside?
We might need objects from outside, Mama.
Oh, okay. I'm being told a lot since we've been home. I don't know everything anymore. That ship has sailed. Not sure if everyone else is feeling that too. Yeah.
Put all these talks back.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right, I got my 3 planets. I got my pink and orange, I've got my purple sphere, and I have my cool green funky planet. Now I'm gonna take my glue stick, whatever you have, and I am going to flip over my paper. This is a good time to take the scrap from your cutting and put your planet chalk side down on the scrap, so it just minimizes the amount of chalk that ends up on your table, your workspace. I'm gonna put just enough glue, because a little dab will do. And then I'm gonna decide where to put my planets.
I have no idea what dab will do means.
I'm gonna paste one planet over here, and I'm really gently gonna rub the outside with my finger. Try not to get too much chalk on the black paper, because we really want our planets to stand out. All right, I'm doing a little dab right around the outside of my planet and a dab in the middle. I'm ready for this one. We are going to be covering some of our stars when we add our planets, and that's okay because we can always go back in and add more stars where we like. All right, so I gotta rub around that, rub in the middle a little bit. There we go. We're ready for our last planet here. Flip it over, a little dab, right around the outside. And I'm gonna put this guy over here. All right. There we go. I got my green planet. Look at that. We made moonscapes today. I think I'm gonna take my white pastel. I'm gonna add just a couple more things. I'm gonna add a few more stars where I feel like we could use some. I'm gonna add a shooting star up here because, like Calla said, just love shooting stars. I made the nice big star with a tail. I make 3 dotted lines behind the star for its tail. Another fun thing that you could do is make a satellite, and that's like a big crisscross with like a rectangle or a square on one end. That's kind of fun to draw, or you could draw however you like. That's just a simple way that we do it. Or if you want to get really fun, you could make a little spaceship and make an oval with a bubble on top. Maybe he has a little tail because he's moving. Maybe there's a little alien dude inside. Who knows? Okay, got a little spaceship flying along. So you can decorate your moonscape however you'd like, but this is such a fun project. It's so bright, it's so beautiful, and it's in honor of the full moon tonight. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you all have a beautiful day and get yourselves outside because it's so, so nice. And we'll see you again tomorrow.
Mom, can you please wait for me?
We will post, can we show it how it is, and then we can post it in the comments, please?
Mama, I'm almost done coloring this, okay?
Kyla really wants to share hers, so we're gonna wait a minute and let her share hers while I tidy up. I guess real quick I'll say that I mentioned earlier it's supposed to rain tomorrow. We are going to post up an outside project, and hopefully you can find another day to do it. It's a really, really fun outside chalk project. So we'll be posting that up. And then just a little plug real quick. We posted our April kit, April Kindred kit in the shop today. It's a seed paper bookmark kit. It's so, so beautiful. The process is fun. You have everything in the kit that you need except for scissors to make these really lovely seed paper bookmarks. You get to make 4 of them. They make really wonderful gifts. You can also check out